Shalom. Want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders, our great millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, so real quick, it's going to be a quick jab. Basically, scriptures being fulfilled, man, prophecy being fulfilled. Okay, there's this news here. It says 52 killed as prison gangs riot and decapitate 16 rivals in Brazil. Okay, this happened in Brazil, and it goes into, it says, more than 50 people have been killed after intense hours-long violence broke out in prison in Para, Brazil. Officials say 16 of the dead were decapitated as rival prison gangs fought. Extremely graphic footage shared online purportedly filmed inside the prison shows men kicking and tossing several severed heads around as bodies lie prone nearby. Other footage shows part of the prison in flames. Okay, fighting broke out in the Altamira Regional Recovery Center around 7 a.m. local time when the members of one gang invaded an area occupied by a rival gang. An official from Para State Government's Penitentiary Department said. Okay, inmates then set the area alight in retaliation, and 2 prison officers were taken hostage. The hostages were released after negotiations, and the riot lasted about 5 hours. Now, the number 5 means what? Power. Okay? Remember that number 5, okay? What does it mean? It means power. Okay? Military police are still on the scene. Military, okay? Not regular, but military police, all right? And there's a quote. It says, "We have 52 dead, including 16 beheaded. It is still very hot inside the prison, and we are working to remove bodies," said State Penitentiary official Harbas Vasconcelos Carmo. Okay, trying to practice my Spanish there a little bit. It says Brazil's prisons are notoriously overcrowded. According to official figures, the Altamira facility in Para has a capacity of 208 inmates, but had 372 detainees when violence broke out on Monday, which was today. Okay. Now, there's some key points here. It says that the title right there says 52 killed in prison gangs riot and decapitate 16 rivals in Brazil. Now, all these things are happening, and there's a vibration on the earth, man. It always starts somewhere, and then it leads on to the next, and on to the next, and on to the next. Don't be surprised if the next thing is going to be prison breakouts, prison riots. Okay? Prison riots are going to be the thing, man. Okay? It's you got to understand that all these things, it started with the protests. There's always a vibration and a demon, okay, that sets into people, and then it just spreads. Okay, the demons get their task, and they go around spreading it, and the next thing you know, everybody's rioting, man. All right, but here, real quick, this is a book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. It says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." Okay, and this is a sign of mourning, man, a sign of oppression, and people are fighting against that. But who can they fight? They've created, Esau has created a system where he has 2 rival gangs in the same prison. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen, man? It's natural. Even when you have 2 different male animals, let's say dogs, when 2 dogs see each other, what happens? You see the back of their hair stand up. You know, their ears stand up, their tail, whatever it is, it stands up, and then it's like they're ready to go, right? They're ready to go. When they see each other, they don't know each other. They kind of sniff around each other, size each other up, and they want to go at it, man. Okay? So it's natural for 2 people, when they don't know each other, and they size each other up, feel the energy, they kind of want to go at it, man. That's an animal instinct. But you have 2 rival gangs in the same prison. What do you think? What are you setting up here, man? And this is all the way in Brazil now. Okay. But this is all prophecy too. Okay. Even though it happened in a prison, it is going to happen in these streets, man, very soon. Okay. But this is just to show you that this is something that's inside of humans, man. People can and do things like this. Okay. To decapitate, bro. You know, you decapitate somebody, you cut their heads off, man. Heads are rolling, man. Here it is. We talk about it in the scriptures all the time. You know what I'm saying? You got heads rolling. Soon it's going to be here in these streets. All right. There's a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." And that has, at the end, it has an exclamation mark. Okay, so there's an emphasis on the problems that are about to hit this place, man. Woe meaning what? Pain, suffering, death, calamity, riots, decapitation. These are all part of the word woe, man. Okay? War. All right? It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." Okay? Now, mainly it's talking about here in Babylon, where it's talking about the sword, it's talking about what? The nuclear missiles. But understand that Babylon is not the only place that nuclear missiles going to hit. There are different parts of the earth that are going to get hit with missiles too. Okay? But primarily here in Babylon is where the Most High has his attention on, man. Because this is the cancer of the earth. All right? It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Okay? And swords in their hands, man. So we reading this right here. Hey, that's... Isn't that prophecy? Isn't that prophecy, man? These dudes are out here decapitating people, okay? Cutting heads off. That's prophecy. All right? More than 50 people have been killed after intense hours-long violence broke out in a prison in Brazil. Officials say 16 of the dead were decapitated as rival prison gangs fought. Okay, let's go back to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, 15th verse. "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." Okay, "For there shall be sedition among men." Sedition goes into what? Uprisings, rebellion, so-called revolutionary movements. Okay, protests, riots. Okay, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Okay, the course of their actions shall stand in their power, man. Going back to what I was reading, the hostages were released after negotiations, the course of their hand. Okay, let me read that and go back over it again. And the riot lasted about 5 hours. 5 signals what? Power. Okay, inmates then set the area alight in retaliation. Going back to what? The course of their action, standing in their hand, man, meaning they had the power to do so. All right. It says, "And 2 prison officers were taken hostage. They were not regarding their kings nor princes." In this case, their kings and princes were the guards who were taken over, who were watching over the prison, man. But like I said, soon it's going to be on an escalated level where it's going to be out here in these streets, man. Okay? Out here in these streets, and you're going to have your police officers. Hey, there was a 5th police officer in 3 months or so who committed suicide. The brother was bringing it out earlier today. Okay? What does that mean, man? NYPD officer committing suicide. Why are you committing suicide, man? We can't, you know, you got to think about these things. Depression is a part of it, okay? But also they understand what's going to be happening very soon, and some of them can't stomach it, man. They understand the troubles coming to America, and some of them can't even stomach it. To see your family die, to have to commit certain acts that you know you deep down your heart is against. And some of them just like, you know what, it's better to be out of here than to go through what we're about to go through, man. So they just take their lives. Okay? They take their lives, man. All right? Continuing, it says, and it shall stand in their power, man, and their actions shall stand in their power. Okay. So look, man, this is something so small. It's always little things, but you have to pay attention to it. Scripture say what? Be not ignorant of anything small or great. Okay. So you got to know, you got to understand these things. You got to watch and decipher, discern, okay, and give warning. All right, because this is only the beginning. Like I said, it all starts with one thing and then it goes on to the next. Guess what? One significant thing that was in here too was what? Fire. Okay, they set the place on fire. And what does fire normally do? It spreads. So this riot demon that's out here right now, it happened in a prison, man. Guess what? Be on the lookout. You're gonna have a lot more of these things happening. Okay? And it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. And we've been prophesying about this. There are a lot of people in the prison systems who were put in there because of wicked deeds of people who are out. Soon, when them dudes get the chance to come outside, man, you will get your hands. They'll put their hands on you. Okay? And when they get their hands on you, they will tear people apart. All right? They will tear people apart as a means of retaliation. You put me here, when I get out, when I see you, it's over for you. So those are all things you have to keep in mind, man. You got dudes who are salivating and they can't wait to get out. They cannot wait to get out, man. And the Most High gonna put the spirit on them to come out here, the spirit of vengeance, to come out here and seek people's heads. Okay? So listen, man, the time of peace is almost over. The time of war has begun. Shalom.